Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a very warm welcome to Government House, Yarralumla. Dawa Nuna, Dawa Nunawel. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Nunawel people, and pay my respects to their elders, past and present, emerging leaders, and extend that courtesy to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders gathered here with us this afternoon. My name is Paul Singer and I'm the Governor-General's Official Secretary. And as this badge signifies with its cross quills, I'm also the Secretary for the Council for the Order of Australia, which makes recommendations to the Governor-General for appointments and awards in the General Division of the Order. And the Governor-General is both the Chancellor of the Order of Australia and the Principal Companion. And I'm also the Secretary of the Australian Bravery Decorations Council, the body which makes recommendations to the Governor-General for bravery awards. Before we start the ceremony this afternoon, I'd like to acknowledge among our distinguished guests, Commodore David Mann, representing the Chief of Navy, Lieutenant General Rick Byrd, Chief of Army, Air Vice Marshal Vincent Iervasi, representing the Chief of the Air Force, Chief Officer Howard Wren, representing the Commissioner for the ACT Emergency Services Agency, Mr Andrew Shearer, Director General National Intelligence, Dr Joseph Johnson, representing the Chair of the Order of Australia Association, and Deputy Commissioner Alex Barrell, representing the Commissioner for Marine Rescue, New South Wales. Welcome all. Notwithstanding the challenges presented by the pandemic, we're delighted that we're able to proceed with hosting this investiture ceremony here this afternoon. We're grateful for your understanding of and compliance with the measures that we've put in place to ensure that this ceremony can take place in a COVID-safe manner. The Australian Honours and Awards system provides a wonderful mechanism through which we as a nation can celebrate and acknowledge ordinary people who do extraordinary things. Since its inception in 1975, almost 400,000 people have been acknowledged for their meritorious, bravery, military or national service. And the Order of Australia is the principal means of recognising outstanding service, and it's important to nomination come from all parts of the community. Anyone can nominate. Today is a special day, not only for the recipients, but also for your friends, your families and your communities. It's a day when we celebrate a diverse range of impressive achievements and service. My Government House colleagues and I are privileged to play a small part in the recognition and celebration of that achievement, and we look forward to making this afternoon a day that you recall with pride for some time to come. Shortly, I'll invite you to stand for the arrival of Her Excellencies the Governor-General and Mrs Hurley, and ask that you remain standing and join in the singing of the first verse of the Australian National Anthem. The investiture will then begin and proceed in the order listed in your programs. After I read their names and citations, the recipients will enter from the doorway on my right, and after they've been invested by the Governor-General, will return via the central aisle to take up their seats at the back of the room. And at this point, you might like to show your appreciation with a short applause. At the conclusion of the ceremony, the Governor-General will say a few words, and once the ceremony is complete, we'll invite the recipients to join with Her Excellencies out on the state entrance stairs for official photographs. And at this point, we just invite the guests to remain briefly in this room to allow Their Excellencies and recipients to depart, and then we'll invite all to proceed into the dining room where refreshments will be served. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please relax and enjoy this very special occasion. Would you please stand for the arrival of Her Excellencies the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia, Mrs Linda Hurley, and for the singing of the Australian National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is good by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every state advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated.
Good afternoon all, and again a warm welcome to Government House here at Yarralumla. Lyra and I and the staff at Yarralumla are absolutely delighted to be participating with you in this very significant, very important day in the lives of our recipients and their family and friends. I also begin by acknowledging that Government House at Yarralumla sits on the land of the Ngunnawal people. If you're a Canberran, you'll know how beautiful this area is around here, down the Madgie and the surrounding areas. And we do thank the Ngunnawal people for looking after us for generation after generation and pay respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. As I said, this is an exciting day. And it's an exciting day for a number of reasons. It's an opportunity for us here at Government House to acknowledge and celebrate some amazing, outstanding contributions by our fellow Australians to our country. Linda and I are privileged to travel around the country nearly every day of the week, over 365 days a year. And throughout that engagement, visiting people at work, at play, in their professions, in those great celebratory moments in communities and in the darkest days, we see on display every day what we term here a richness of spirit, a real richness of spirit amongst the Australian people. And what we see today is a microcosm of that. People who have been nominated to be acknowledged for the work they've conducted in their profession, in their community, whatever the area might be. There's an important word I just used there. They have been nominated. Our honours and awards system was introduced in 1975 to replace the imperial honours and awards system. It has, I think, one very distinct characteristic, perhaps unique amongst global honours and awards systems, and that is bottom up. What do I mean by that? Every person who comes through the door, particularly those for the community awards, has been nominated by someone in their community, a peer, a fellow citizen, who has said, I think this person's work needs to be recognised. And without nomination, they cannot walk through the door. It's as simple as that. Ours is not a system where elites in Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, pick a capital city, look around and say, Bill, Bob, Jenny or Joe are doing a great job. I'm going to give them a medal on Australia Day. It doesn't work that way. I want you to bear that in mind because at the conclusion of the formal section of the ceremony, I'm going to issue some homework. No one expected that today. That's good. You will have homework to do and I'll be the marker. And I'll explain how I'm going to do that as well. But please watch and observe what happens. Today, as I said, very important day for our recipients. Can I also, though, refer to the families that are here? Thank you for what you do as well. I know, having lived a very public life for 50 years, that it's a team effort, that it's the home front is critical to enable people to do what they do. So thank every one of you. I thank every one of you for what you've done to stand by the person who's receiving that award today and support them. We are deeply indebted to you as well. And I'll say something about you in a bit later on as well. A few things to follow up after the formal ceremony. You'll notice as you came in today, the gardens are nice and tidy. They normally are. Special touch for this ceremony. Everyone's in their finery, medals out, people in their grandest uniforms and so on. A lot of protocol, a lot of pomp, a bit of ceremony, a band, as it should be. This week, after Australia Day every year, and a September week after Queen's birthday each year, are the two highlights of the year for us here. As I say, when we recognise outstanding achievement. Given all that, though, this is an Australian Government House, so please relax. You're allowed to breathe, particularly the recipients. Show your joy when it's appropriate time to acknowledge them and share in the celebration. This is a very important day for our country, both here in this Government House and elsewhere around the other government houses in the country, as we acknowledge people who speak to us about the best that we can be. So congratulations to our recipients, to their families here today. And on that note, I'll now commence the formal ceremony. Thank you.
Your Excellency, to be presented with the insignia of his appointment as an officer in the General Division of the Order of Australia, Dr. Evans Laguda, for distinguished service to agriculture and food science as a researcher in the area of wheat genetics. Dr. Laguda epitomises the Australian ideal of embracing multiculturalism to advance our nation's interests and to make a positive global impact. He's become a world leader in his research field of wheat production, primarily by improving crop resistance to disease. His greatest achievements have been in fortifying wheat against wheat rust disease. His insights have been published in international journals and have revolutionised scientists' understanding in the area of adult plant resistance. He's also been passionate about education and has trained and mentored a generation of young scientists. Dr. Laguda has made a critical and enduring contribution to ensuring world food security, and we acknowledge and honour him today. Dr. Evans Laguda, appointed an officer of the Order. Appointed a member in the General Division, Mrs. Jennifer Morrison, for significant service to business in the field of accountancy and to professional associations. For over 28 years, Mrs. Morrison has provided outstanding service to improving the robustness of the Australian Government's financial statements. As a strong advocate for and contributor to governance arrangements, she's worked tirelessly to promote and strengthen the framework that governs Commonwealth expenditure. Her considered counsel to senior government officials to both mitigate risk and provide assurance to the community that public funds are administered correctly has been invaluable. Ms. Morrison's commitment to best practice and competency in public financial governance is most noteworthy. Mrs. Jennifer Morrison, appointed a member of the Order. A crowd favourite, Your Excellency. Appointed a member in the General Division, Dr. Sarah Ryan, for significant service to the environment, to education and to the community. Dr. Ryan has an admirable passion for environmental welfare, and her contributions are underpinned by scientific rigour, a questioning mind and a respect for due process. She is a leader in her field of expertise of sustainability ecosystems and spent many years at the CSIRO serving in a range of roles. She's been a member of the University of Canberra Council and the Advisory Council of the Canberra Institute of Technology, including as chair for 6 years. She was appointed as a member of the ACT Bushfire Council in 2015 and as chair in 2017, and during her tenure has made an invaluable contribution to the development of the ACT bushfires preparedness. Dr. Ryan has given generously of her knowledge, skills and energy to our community, and we recognise her efforts today. Dr. Sarah Ryan, appointed a member of the Order. appointed a member of the Order in the Military Division, Brigadier Gavin Duncan, for exceptional service to the Australian Defence Force in the fields of organisational change and cultural reform and strategic military responses development. Brigadier Duncan distinguished himself through drive and foresight in leading substantive cultural and professional transformations, while simultaneously managing the Inspector General Australian Defence Force inquiry process. He delivered workforce governance, training and cultural reform across the 7 units within Special Forces Command. As Director General Military Strategic Commitments Branch, he led his team to develop defence response options, including support to the whole of government domestic COVID-19 response, regional humanitarian aid and disaster responses in the Southwest Pacific region, and the reduction of our forces in the Middle East. Brigadier Duncan's efforts in translating government direction into operational guidance have greatly enhanced our Defence Force's reputation. Brigadier Gavin Duncan appointed a member of the Order. Awarded the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Mrs. Bonnie Carter, for service to community health. Mrs. Carter has devoted enormous time and energy to organising events to raise money for a number of charities in the Canberra region, with a focus on supporting families who have experienced pregnancy loss and stillbirth. Most notably, she both fundraised for and oversaw the design and implementation of a new bereavement suite at the Canberra Hospital's Fetal Medicine Unit. She's also a fierce advocate for raising awareness of and improving research into the cause of fetal mortality. Mrs. Carter is an inspirational person who, despite her own grief and loss, has used her experience to provide a voice for others and bring about positive change. Mrs. Bonnie Carter awarded the Medal of the Order. Awarded the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Miss Margaret Icolza, for service to education. Miss Icolza has devoted many years supporting education and research institutions in Canberra. She was instrumental in the establishment of the National Security College at the Australian National University through setting up the administration team and the college's financial plan. Subsequently, at the Crawford School for Public Policy, she ensured its long-term financial viability through the implementation of sensible financial management practices. During this time, she also chaired the ACT Playgroup Association and the Kaleen Primary School Parents and Citizens Committee. Ms. Icolza's commitment and dedication to educational administration is most noteworthy. Ms. Margaret Icolza awarded the Medal of the Order. Awarded the Medal of the Order in the General Division, Mrs. Lynn Fletcher, for service to the arts through children's literature. Mrs. Fletcher has given dedicated service to education over many years, particularly through her volunteer work in the area of children's literature. As a teacher librarian, her creative programs for early childhood and primary age children have played an important role in the development of literacy and helped establish patterns of lifelong reading and learning. Through her long involvement with the Children's Book Council of Australia and the National Centre for Australian Children's Literature, she's used her skills to ensure that children of all ages are exposed to and engage with the best their literature has to offer. Mrs. Fletcher's efforts have added much to our social and cultural heritage, and we recognise and thank her today. Mrs. Lynn Fletcher awarded the Medal of the Order. We move now to the Conspicuous Service Decorations. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Colonel Edmund Lunch, for outstanding achievement as Commandant Defence Command Support Training Centre. Colonel Lunch has developed a strategy to review the 222 learning management plans and improving training outcomes for Defence personnel. In 2018, it was identified that the signals employment categories in Army were at a critical stage, including gaps in the number of specialised personnel and delays in recruitment processes. Through stakeholder engagement, he developed Plan Caduceus, which has seen growth in signals trades and has driven modernisation in training design. It has also enabled the establishment of joint learning management authorities in Head Information Warfare and Defence Intelligence Group. Colonel Wunsch's exceptional service has delivered a lasting and vital change to our Defence Forces capability. Colonel Edmund Wunsch awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross, Air Commodore David Patterson, for outstanding devotion to duty and combat capability development for the Australian Defence Force. Air Commodore Patterson, then a Group Captain, deftly managed the Australian Defence Force Special Operations Capability Program. He was instrumental in achieving government approvals for two crucial major capital equipment projects. The first approval was for the program to modernise special operations and was valued at $500 million. The second approval was for a multi-million-dollar project to enhance counter-chemical, biological, radiological and nuclear capabilities. Air Commodore Patterson's contributions to these major advances has provided Special Operations Command with a flexible and resilient foundation. Air Commodore David Patterson awarded the Conspicuous Service Cross. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Commander Katie DeCosta, for meritorious devotion to duty as the Executive Officer of HMAS Harmon during Operation Bushfire Assist and the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. Commander Da Costa's efforts in supporting Canberra-based Navy families throughout 2020 was outstanding. From bushfire protection responses through to the dynamic COVID-19 pandemic circumstances, she provided clear awareness of conditions and requirements for Canberra's Navy community. In response to Operation Bushfire Assist, her efforts supported a contingent of over 400 force-assigned personnel mounted from HMAS Harmon. Throughout 2020, she has also facilitated Harmon support to Operation COVID Assist, which saw defence personnel outfitted, prepared, accommodated and deployed to assist at the Victorian border and to ACT hotels for quarantine tasks. Commander Da Costa's dedication greatly enhanced Navy capability in the region. Commander Katie Da Costa awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Commander Nicole Mann, for outstanding achievement as the Deputy Director of the Navy People Career Management Agency. Commander Mann personally drove initiatives for the conduct of promotion boards through virtual means during the onset of COVID-19 restrictions. She has improved Navy's promotion processes through enhanced transparency, consistency and accountability practices that met the increasing challenges of a fluid workforce. She also assumed the role as a team leader in the Navy People Career Management Agency in response to Navy's contribution to COVID-19. Commander Mann's commitment to her role, her staff and to key stakeholders, together with her unstinting loyalty, epitomised the core values and behaviours of the Royal Australian Navy. Commander Nicole Mann awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal. Awarded the Conspicuous Service Medal, Squadron Leader Rebecca Olsen, for meritorious achievement as the Staff Officer Grade 2 Satellite Operations at the Defence Network Operations Centre, Chief Information Officer Group. Squadron Leader Olsen has significantly advanced Defence's satellite operations capabilities. She undertook strategic tasking in support of a range of programs, including Operation Bushfire Assist, Middle East Region Force Reposturing, and Defence's response to the COVID-19 pandemic. She led her team of Australian Defence Force, public service and industry partners in overseeing the positioning of satellites for optimal global coverage. She's worked to influence future projects, including improving coalition agreements, vital to our global communications capabilities. Squadron Leader Olsen is a technical space specialist and a highly regarded member of the defence space community. Squadron Leader Rebecca Olsen awarded a Conspicuous Service Medal. We move now to the Meritorious Service Awards. Awarded the Australian Ambulance Service Medal, Mr. Joel Powell, for distinguished service to the Australian Capital Territory Ambulance Service. Mr. Powell commenced the ACT Ambulance Service in 2008 as a frontline paramedic and later completed training as an intensive care paramedic. In 2011, he was selected to undertake the new Duty Operations Officer role, where he provides crucial leadership for the daily operations of the service, managing the tactical deployment of frontline staff and exercising command at incidents and emergencies. Additionally, he is a peer support officer and a representative on several ambulance service internal committees. He's a driving standards facilitator, and he continues to serve as an operational paramedic. Mr. Powell's commitment to the ACT ambulance service and to the safety of our community is exemplary. Mr. Joel Powell, awarded the Australian Ambulance Service Medal. Awarded the Emergency Services Medal, Mr. William Blakeman, for distinguished service to Marine Rescue New South Wales. Mr. Blakeman has served as a member of Marine Rescue New South Wales at Merimbula for over 14 years. He holds the organisation's highest qualifications as a Marine Rescue Master and Watch Officer, and has undertaken numerous rescues in dangerous conditions. As his unit's training officer, he is committed to the professional development of volunteers, drawing on his extensive experience to ensure that they can operate safely. When the Black Summer bushfires struck the far south coast in early 2020, he worked tirelessly in the local emergency operations centre, coordinating marine rescue volunteers to assist the New South Wales Rural Fire Service. Mr. Blakeman is an individual whose service to the community is most deserving of our recognition. Mr. William Blakeman, awarded the Emergency Services Medal. Awarded the Australian Intelligence Medal, Mr. Mike Hughes, for distinguished service to the national intelligence community. Mr. Hughes is a highly professional, committed and effective officer. He's delivered over 23 years of dedicated service to the national intelligence community through a range of high-level professional roles. During this time, he's provided exceptional leadership, problem-solving and deep subject matter expertise, and has collaborated closely with a range of Australian government agencies and international partners. Mr. Hughes has gone above and beyond the normal requirements of the positions he has held, and his vision and achievements have played a significant part in the defence of our national interests and in keeping our country and its people safe. Mr. Mike Hughes, awarded the Australian Intelligence Medal. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the presentations this afternoon.
We have acknowledged each of our recipients individually. I think it is appropriate now to acknowledge them as a group. Congratulations. Now to homework. You've seen today the range of activities that people are acknowledged for. Canberra, we're slightly distorted here at Yarralumla in that we have a large public service and military population, and we draw from the local area and a bit from Canberra as well in the community awards. If you think through what you've seen today, you know people in your community that are doing something similar or more and should be recognised. But as I said, they can't be recognised unless they're nominated. So your homework is to go back to your community and nominate people. Now, as you're thinking about who and for what, I bring three matters to mind. Our system works reasonably effectively, but there are three issues I'm working on at the moment. We are underrepresented in women. Now, the numbers have significantly increased over recent years. We're heading in the right direction, but we need to continue to look in our communities, and women of merit need to be nominated. Multicultural representation is still not where it should be to reflect who we are as Australians. And so that's an area we're working on, but I need your assistance as well. And in the Indigenous community, we're very much underrepresented there. So there's a third area we need to be thinking about for nominations. Please go back to your community, look and nominate. How do I mark your homework? Your nomination goes to the council. Should the council deem recognition is appropriate, that person will walk through this door in 1 or 2 years' time. That's a success for you. It's a success for me. It's a success for the country. So please, nominate. It's your system. Could I go back to families again? Thank you for what you do. We've heard the stories now of each of the recipients, and we know what goes on behind the scenes to enable them to be as successful as they have been. So thank you for your contribution. I used to say this privately, but now I say it publicly to the partners of the recipients, their friends. They got their bling today. They should take you shopping. You've earned your bit. So bear that in mind, all those in the back room. Linda and I look forward now to getting to meet the recipients and their family and friends with them today in a more informal setting. We look forward together to celebrating some remarkable people and a very important day for our country. Congratulations all, and we'll see you in a few moments. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to assist with the homework that the Governor-General has issued, particularly for boys and girls sitting in the audience, if you think there's someone worthy within your community that should be considered for recognition within the Order of Australia, I encourage you to access the online nomination form, which is available on the Governor-General's website at www.gg.gov.au. And as the Governor-General said, if someone is successful through that process, we look forward to welcoming them back here at investiture such as this in the future. I now invite the recipients to join with Their Excellencies on the state entrance stairs. Would you please stand for the departure of Their Excellencies, the Governor-General and Mrs. Hurley.